All right, guys, as stocks have crashed, we've gone into a recession, and Bitcoin under $20,000, everything's all out hell. You know, I've been in crypto since 2017, and really up until last year, I've really been working, putting a lot of miles on my car. I put like 40,000 miles on my car, I drive all day, I have a private investigator, I have a little detective agency, and I listen to a lot of YouTube, a lot of crypto stuff. And I would say 99% of it, 99% of these people are absolutely crazy. All their predictions are wrong. They have no idea what they're talking about. They're just basically trying to get views. But today I'm going to talk about three people who I've also been listening to over the last couple of years, and these guys have been spot on, regardless of their personalities, regardless of their past. I don't know. The first one I'm going to talk about is Richard Hart. I know he has the Hex coin, which I know nothing about. I've never bought it. I don't know anything about it, but I have listened to this guy in interviews, and he's been talking since last year, before last year, that Bitcoin was going to go down to probably $10,000, have an 85% dump. People have been mocking him, calling him a piece of crap, avoiding him, saying he's crazy, including guys like BitBoy. I was skeptical myself, but now that Bitcoin's at about $18,000, no matter what happens, this guy was pretty much right on, because you're never going to get the bottom completely. So here's a little snippet from him in an interview back a year ago, folks. This is a year ago when Bitcoin was $65,000 and everybody was at their highs. And if you told anybody at that time Bitcoin was going to $30,000 or $40,000, they would throw you out of the room. This guy, when Bitcoin was at $60,000, was calling for an 85% dump and said we had already hit the top. I'm sorry, folks. Like the guy, don't like the guy. You think he's the devil. I don't know. Right is right. And if you want to make money, you have to take your emotions out of it and follow who is right and who has an understanding and a grasp of these markets. Here's a little clip.
Our guy. And I always wanted to do more for them, and I never got around to it. So I said, you know what? I'm making a new coin. It's called Pulse. It's better than Ethereum. It fixes a ton of things that are wrong with Ethereum. It gets rid of the miners.
80% total drop for what?
I think Bitcoin will tap $10,000 from its high of 65,000 because that's what it normally does. It drops 85%. Ethereum usually drops 95% because it has lower liquidity. So it acts like a leverage position on Bitcoin to some degree. Well, so Bitcoin runs up, ETH runs up higher.
The people in the Bitcoin ecosystem tell me, look, Bitcoin is unlikely to do what it has been doing in the past couple of cycles, which is drop 80%, precisely because new institutional money have already been placed in the Bitcoin ecosystem. Institutional investors now with more money are likely to.
I want to say really quick, I'm good at reading people's personalities. I've been a private investigator for 20 years, interviewing people, talking to people, trying to investigate fraud. I've testified in court thousands of times, and this guy's a cool cat right here. When you see a guy, he is a confident guy. I don't know what it is about this guy. I mean, I think you're looking at a guy right here with probably 180 IQ, and he just is kind of looking down at the peasants and being like, you can see it in his eyes, like, why are these people so stupid? Why is everybody so stupid? And he is a cocky guy, but he's also kind of humble here, just trying to let people know that, yeah, we're at $65,000 Bitcoin, but an 85% crash is coming, and nobody can see it. Everybody's drinking the hopium. CNBC, Fox Business, this guy right here, nobody wants to see it. I didn't even really want to see it back then. I probably would have said the bottom last year was like, okay, we'll probably drop down to $40,000, $30,000. But Richard Hart, this is a year ago, folks, when Bitcoin was at $60,000. So, and he's just cool cat, collect, and he knows what's coming.
To make the coin less volatile, so to speak.
It's not true.
How would you respond to that?
They're wrong and I'm right. I have a history of calling the top. I called the top on the day. I called the $65,000 top on the day and drew the chart. And then I told you that last cycle, Ethereum topped 27 days later. Guess what happened this cycle? Exactly 27 days later, Ethereum topped. I got it 100% right. You couldn't possibly do better. And I did the same thing in 2017. So if you go to richardhart.com, you'll see me bragging about all the things I get right. And I don't delete stuff. So it's not like I'm deleting bad calls. No, I made one call on Bitcoin in about 2 years, and it was to call the top. So all those guys that have these fan fiction theories about, the price can't go below the cost of mining. They think that the cost of mining holds the price up. Nope, didn't last cycle, won't this cycle. Mining price follows the price. It doesn't lead it. People look at trailing indicators and think they're leading indicators, like Google search volume. You can't trade the Google search volume because it's a trailing indicator, not a leading indicator. These are reflexive systems. They do not have base demand. You do not have to pay your rent in crypto. It is a purely speculative play. The people bought because the price went up, so they bought, so the price went up, so they bought, so the price went up, and then it gets punched in the nose hard enough where it drops outside people's comfort zone, and the people that bought the dip lost. You could have bought 20% dips the whole way up for a year and made a killing. But this time, when you bought the 20% dip, you lost half your money. And now people will sell because the price went down. So they'll sell because the price went down. So they'll sell because the price went down. And this concept that the world's richest guy can buy, who do you think is going to follow him up? You got another world's richest guy waiting behind there to follow him up, to buy his bag, to buy the top right after him? It's crazy. No. Once you've already got the world's richest guy on board, it's time for a dump. You got him. And then when you finally shake everybody out and you get the last weekend out, then you get to go up again.
Anyway, absolutely incredible. Now, keep in mind, folks, like I said, this is August 4th, 2021. Everybody thought this was crazy. Even when I remember watching this interview in August of 2021, and I'm like, look, there's no way Bitcoin's going down to 10,000. I'm thinking maybe 30,000. Well, we're at 18,000 right now. So no matter what happens, even if Bitcoin bounces up to $50,000 tomorrow, this guy called it. He gets a lot of hate. I get it. He's cocky. A lot of smart guys are cocky. But hey, right is right. If you follow BitBoy, if you follow Crypto Banter, you lost right now 90% of your money. If you follow Crypto Banter and bought mostly Luna, you're basically broke right now. If you use Celsius, that all these other scammers were promoting, you lost everything. Richard Hart's been telling you Celsius was a scam for the last 2 years. He's been telling you it was a scam. So this is where it goes back to putting your emotions aside. It's kind of like voting for president. A lot of people voted for Joe Biden because they just hated Donald Trump. Well, the country is in the worst possible place it could ever be right now. Even my liberal mother is begging for Donald Trump to come back. The same with crypto. Don't follow YouTubers just based off personality. Follow YouTubers based off who is right. Banter's not right ever. BitBoy's not right. Cryptos are us. UST. Celsius, I mean, all these guys. This is one of the few YouTubers. Now, there are some other ones, but this is one of the few who I followed over the last couple of years who has proven to be right. Another one is Gareth Soloway. I've been following Gareth Soloway now all year. This guy's been calling for a $20,000 Bitcoin. Again, back last year when Bitcoin was $60,000, he said that's the top and we're going down to 20.
That's usually the topping out point or close to it. Now, with Bitcoin, there were some signals, right? So when it was topping out in October, November at 65, 69,000, you had the same things going on that were occurring in 2017, namely that we had the futures ETF launch in October. In 2017, the futures actually launched. So it was the futures launch marked the high in 2017. The futures ETF marked the high in 2021. Yeah. In addition, the euphoria was so palpable. I mean, like you could not go anywhere without the bagel guy, the pizza man, and I mean, I've always been
the bagel guy, and he's so right. I always tell this story, and not really a story, but about 8 months ago, my friend, he's a plumber. He lives in Florida. A smart guy, but he doesn't know anything about crypto. Calls me up, tells me, I just bought a ton of Shiba Inu. I'm like, dude, we're at the top. That's a meme coin. It's going to probably dump horrendously. Don't buy it. He calls me a piece of crap, doesn't talk to me for a month. So, and of course, yes, the Uber guy, the cab driver, when they're all talking about crypto, folks, it's over. It's dumping. The same thing happened in 2017 when Bitcoin hit 20,000. The cab driver was talking about it. The pizza guy was talking about it. That's it. You're done for 2 years. That was the top. Same thing for this cycle, folks.
Thought that when those people are saying, "Hey, I'm buying Bitcoin," you're probably late to the party. And think about this this thought process. If you have 10 participants in a market, and the pizza man and stuff are like the last ones, so all the smart money's already in, and finally the pizza man joins that crowd, who's left to buy?
Finally, the pizza man joins. I love the way he puts it. You got the smart money, and then they're all buying, and then you see the pizza man buying. Well, who's below the pizza man? I don't know. I don't know. The fry cook? I don't know. But there's not too many people with any money below the pizza man. And not to mock pizza man, but you know, this is just we're just joking around right now. But yeah, this guy's been calling since last year when Bitcoin hit $65,000. He was doing interviews on BitBoy. Everybody telling people $20,000 was coming. BitBoy said, "No way, you're crazy." He was on Crypto Banter. Crypto Banter didn't even want to have him on anymore. Again, you listen to Gareth Soloway, who has, I don't think he's a few thousand subscribers on YouTube, or you listen to Crypto Banter, who has 1 million subscribers. If you listen to Crypto Banter, you're basically broke right now. In fact, if you follow, Crypto Banter is one of the biggest YouTube channels. If you followed him to a T with the Luna, the UST, the Anchor Protocol, you have nothing right now. You're flat broke. It's actually a sad situation. And that's one reason I created this YouTube channel. I'm trying to warn people that 90% of crypto YouTubers are scumbag scammers. All right, anyway, that's Gareth Soloway, unbelievable. And another guy, Harry Dent. This guy right here, Harry Dent, he's been calling for a market crash for a couple years. He mainly is in the stocks, but he basically said 2 years ago, recession's coming. Bitcoin's gonna go down to like $3,000. He's calling for, and the good news is, coming out of the stock market crash, coming out of the recession, coming out of the real estate crash, Bitcoin will be on fire and Bitcoin will lead the way. But here's him talking. This is back in January, but he's been talking about this for the last year, that the recession and market crash is coming. And by the way, this woman is absolutely gorgeous. Wow, she's incredible.
During all of this?
Okay, that's a great question. Yes and no. In the short term, guess what's been the biggest bubble of all in this late stage bubble? Just like, again, I'm comparing the crypto companies to the .com, not all the internet, not all the NASDAQ companies, to the .coms, which were just emerging. Amazon was at $6 in 97, went to 136, and then crashed back to 6 in that crash early 2000. I'm comparing it to that. So crypto will get hit the hardest. I'm predicting Bitcoin will go down to 4,000 to 7,000 roughly, 90+% crash. More.
Keep in mind, folks, he said this when Bitcoin was $65,000. So he's saying around $8,000 for Bitcoin. We're at $18,000 right now. So remember, these guys were all mocked a year ago. 2 years ago, all mocked. Nobody wants anything to do with them. I followed these guys 100%. It was always in the back of my mind that we're going to get a big crash because of these guys. And these guys kind of kept me grounded, even though everybody was mocking them. Well, people aren't mocking them anymore.
More than the Dow and the NASDAQ and stocks in China and stuff like that. But on the flip side, yes, this is the next emerging tech sector. Think about PCs in the late personal computers, late 70s, early 80s, and then they boom. And then the internet to connect all those in the 90s. And then now that's peaking and maturing. Crypto is the next wave of technology. And let me give you one sentence for that because it's complex. But it's the digitization, digitization of all financial assets and money in the world. And Bitcoin just might end up being the global standard, which the dollar will not.
So anyway, folks, all these guys who I just showed you, they're all Bitcoin bulls. I mean, these guys are all long-term supporters of Bitcoin. They all think Bitcoin is going to go to $1 million at some point. The question is, you have to use some common sense. Bitcoin has the 4-year cycles. We had our bull market. Bitcoin topped out. When I got into Bitcoin in 2017, Bitcoin was topping out at $20,000. It dumped down to $3,000. Okay. Everybody who got in after that in 2020, they bought their Bitcoin at $20,000. Bitcoin went to $67,000. Now we're dumping. Now we're below $20,000 again. We have another year of this, folks. At least another year of sideways range. And then those who hold now, those who buy now, will be selling their Bitcoin to the dumb money at $150,000 or $100,000 in a couple years. That's the way it goes. But my point is, these guys were right. These are if you're looking to follow somebody right now, you're like, oh no, this crypto banter has led me into the fucking hell. BitBoy has led me into hell. Why did I follow that crackhead? All the other guys, Cryptos R Us, he was promoting Anchor Protocol and Celsius, and now he's still promoting BlockFi. And why is he still promoting BlockFi when that's probably going to crash too? Well, they're paid hundreds of thousands of dollars a month. They're not looking out for you, folks. Trust me, they're not. I've been an investigator for 20 years. I know scum. I've seen scum. I've interviewed criminals. These guys are scum, 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 scum. You need to be listening to guys like Richard Hart, Even though he comes off as a cocky asshole, I get it. Smart people are cocky, folks, but they're smart. They're smart for a reason. Harry Dent. So these are the three people to listen to get you through this bear market. Harry Dent, Richard Hart, Gareth Soloway. And there are more out there, and I'll make some videos on some more. Here's one guy you shouldn't listen to, Alex Becker. He just happens to be on the side right here, but he's just out there goofing around. I mean, I don't really take him seriously. But yeah, that's it, folks. Follow these guys, and they will lead you through the bear market. Hey, follow me too, because I watch all these guys, and I basically get a lot of what I say through them. So I'll basically consolidate everything that they say. But they're way smarter than me, all these guys. And by me listening to them, they've saved my ass, and they actually helped me make a lot of money.